Yo, what's good, y'all boys? In today's review, we're taking a deep dive to the past with the Air Max 186 Big Bubble joints. We're gonna take a look at the box, the shoes, and of course, stay till the end of the video to get your boys' thoughts. But first, let's hear a word from Dr. Underdog. He's back for another lesson. Take it away, Dr. Underdog. Oh, well. Nice of you to join us for class. And I must say, I am glad to see you back in another lesson of sneakerology with Dr. Underdog. Today's lecture is going to be all about the Air Max 1 Big Bubble. Now, before we take a glimpse back at the 80s, we must pay homage to those who paved the way for what we know. In 1978, Frank Rudy is the reason that we have Air technology. Air technology was encased in foam in the Nike Air Tailwind back in the 70s, and without this technology, the sneaker landscape that we know today might not be the same. So of course we have to pay homage and respect where respect is due. Now let's shift focus back on the Air Max and back to the 80s. Tinker Hatfield, a name you're all too familiar with at this point. He is credited with designing the Air Max 1. But how did he design it? Where did the inspiration come from, you might be asking? Well, Dr. Underdog has the answer. It turns out that he had the idea of a visible air unit while on a trip to Paris. Now, Dr. Underdog might be a little rusty on his French, but while visiting Le Centre Pompidou, the building was essentially turned inside out. So what if they did that to a shoe? And thus, the idea of a visible air unit was born. Now on this pair, we're looking at the original concept of the Air Max 1, the 1986 Big Bubble. And as we all know today, the Big Bubble was quickly revised due to a plethora of issues related to weather, related to cracking around the window, so on and so forth. They shifted more towards a smaller air unit, which again, we are familiar with today. The Air Max 1 is pivotal in launching Nike's success, and it laid the groundwork for a lot of Air Maxes that we love and know, and we know there's a rich lineage within the Air Max family. The Air Max 1 has seen a number of collaborations with Atmos, Pata, even Travis Scott, but nothing hits quite like an OG. All right, we are back in Underdog's eye. That's what I'm calling this little angle. But let's take a quick peek at the box. It's been giving that vintage treatment that we've seen lately on some Jordan releases. Now, in my opinion, it looks more industrialized rather than vintage, if that makes sense. It just seems more scratchy and more, I don't know, concrete. I don't know if I'm making sense. It just gives me a factory vibe. So I think they missed the mark with the vintage idea, but hey, that's just me. Still though, I can't deny the box is unique. You got a swoosh here that's cut out and you can see right through it, obviously. On the side, you get an air unit that mimics the air bubble on the shoe. That's a cool little touch too. Obviously, as you can tell, my box came pretty destroyed, so that's a shame. It is what it is, not too big of a deal. I'm gonna pull up the size tag for y'all, do what you gotta do, read it if you need to, but don't worry, even though you can obviously read it, I'm gonna read it for you anyway. Nike Air Max 186 OG, white university red, size 11, your boy's size. But let's check out what we got in the box. One thing too, I wanna know, the paper gives me Air Max 90 vibes with the stripes. Just thought I'd mention it. And here we have the shoes. Here they are in their glory. Like Dr. Underdog said, nothing hits quite like the OGs. So this year on Air Max Day, we were blessed with the drop of the Big Bubble 86 joints. And man, is that a pretty big bubble? Check it out, look at that. The air unit is massive on this shoe. It's obviously quite larger than the normal Air Max 1 that we're used to. Unfortunately, I don't have the 2017 pair to directly compare this new release here, but as you can see, the air units, here's the regular Concepts one, here's the Big Bubble one. You can see the difference. Hopefully you can see it on camera. The Big Bubble is quite big. The upper of the shoe is made up of a mix of breathable mesh, gray synthetic suede, and that vibrant hit of university red on the mudguard here and on the swoosh. There are also some red accents on the eyelet areas here and on the Nike branding on the tongue and heel portion. Besides the Big Bubble on the midsole here, the midsole itself is made up of a white polyurethane. The outsole is a traditional Air Max 1 outsole made up of mostly black, white, and red hits right here on the toe. This colorway is going to be really nice and clean for the summer. No additional laces were added. One thing to note too that gives it a vintage vibe is the size is printed right here. So you can see size 11 printed on the sock liner there. Very nice touch, kind of adds to the storytelling, and I am 100% here for it. Overall, the shape is a little different, as you can see. It really does pay homage to that first 86 cut of the Air Max 1. I've seen mixed opinions on this cut. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you like this cut, or do you prefer the 2017 pair? So my thoughts on the Big Bubble Air Max 1 joints, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all, I was kind of disappointed in the materials. They just don't feel that good. I mean, I suppose it could be worse, but I was honestly a little disappointed. Now, personally, I prefer the shape of the 2017 pair, or I guess what we're used to for normal Air Max 1s. I prefer that shape and style a little more than the Big Bubble, to be honest. Overall though, I like little OG hits like this size being printed on the sock liner of the shoe. I think it's clean. Definitely not opposed to the Big Bubble. The biggest thing with me is just the materials. I was a little bit let down on that. Besides that though, it is an OG, so I gotta give it its respect. If you are looking to make a little bit of cash on this release, last time I checked market, they were going for about 50 bucks over retail, since retail was 150. You can make a little bit of profit selling locally. Like I always say, if you're gonna throw them on the apps, you're probably gonna lose money. Sizing and comfort, they feel just like any other Air Max, so I recommend going with your true size, or whatever it is you go with Air Max 1s. They're easy to find nowadays. Check out your outlets and I guarantee you they have a pair of Air Max 1s. Go try them on if you've never tried them before you buy these, if you are gonna turn to resale. Now, Dr. Underdog is probably gonna kill me on this one, but these might be a flip for your boy. I'm just not feeling the materials, to be honest. I wanna keep them, I wanna respect them, and I'm probably gonna regret it, but I might have to flip these. Don't hate your boy too much. I know that's kind of bogus because somebody else could have got these. Generally though, I thought these were gonna be a 100% cop, but it's the materials and the shape that I'm just not really feeling. Who knows? I'm probably gonna sit on it for a little bit. Maybe my mind will change. As of right now, I'm gonna say these are a flip, and I would give them a 5 out of 10. They're just an average run-of-the-mill shoe for your boy. Just my opinion though. Of course, if you think these are grails and these are amazing, you know, hey, good for you. All power, more power to you, you know. For me, subjectively, they're just not hitting as much as I hoped they would. But hey, I mean, still a solid shoe though. Can't deny that. Thank you for checking out my review of the Air Max 186 Big Bubble joints. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Comment down below in the comment section below whether these were a cop, a flip, or a complete skip. Of course, your boy's got more content on the way. But until next video, peace.